of Prep for Success to join us and talk to you all today. So, personal branding is almost essential now. Like in the professional world, it's become almost an essential. And so, we're so happy to have Neeru to join us and clarify some of the questions we all may be having. So, Neeru, would you like to say anything about yourself?
Yeah. Hi, everyone. This is Neeru Sood. And, I'm a business coach and consultant based out of Delhi NCR with a corporate experience of almost 12 years. And thereafter, I started on my own as an entrepreneur. And I have been assisting companies, entrepreneurs, founders with their digital marketing and strategic marketing efforts. And yes, I strongly believe that personal branding is something that we should look into, whether we currently need it immediately or we don't need it immediately, a brand for ourselves. But it is something that should be a process that we should begin.
That's lovely, especially when you mentioned it's a process, right? Because
Yeah.
you can't just suddenly decide tomorrow my brand is going to be this. So I'm sure this is going to be a very insightful session. And I'll just go ahead and start with the questions.
Yes, absolutely.
So, first and foremost, just to set the context, why is it important to even start thinking about a personal brand? So, especially for women who are on a career break, who are just navigating their career, coming back after a long time, how will this personal brand sort of help?
Okay. So basically, first of all, so many women whom I have met, who have taken a career break for themselves, they sometimes happen to go into a shell. They start losing that confidence, that willingness to come back. They feel irrelevant at times. But according to me, they have to start positioning themselves in a manner that, career break was not, first of all, it was not a decision that was not required. It was a decision that was required at the moment in their lives. And every woman, she has seasons in her life. There are seasons when she's building her career. There are seasons when she's building her family. There are seasons, when we are building ourselves back into action. So we have to first of all come out of those shells, and we have to understand that not always a job is possible, not always a 9 to 5 job is possible, and every woman has a journey for herself, and has an individual journey for herself. So we have to be proud about those journeys. We should not think that that's a setback for us. No. And having said that, it is the confidence, it is the experience, it is the willingness that counts more than anything else. Even if we've had a career break, all we have to understand is that with a career break, we do not lose that experience, we do not lose the skill set, we do not lose the experience, we do not lose the knowledge. But nobody is noticing us now. It is because there has been a time gap. There has been a time gap. The things that were relevant then are not relevant now. So in order to increase that relevance quotient, we have to make a personal brand for ourselves. Because earlier, LinkedIn was more like an online resume for a professional, but now LinkedIn is more of a social profession, socio professional context. You have to not just show your experience, but you have to also show your lessons, you have to also show your struggles, you have to also show your expertise with experience. So all that builds your authority, all that builds your credibility, all that builds your trustworthiness. So that is where a personal brand on LinkedIn particularly becomes important today.
I love that, especially the point you mentioned about seasons, right? That's such a
Yeah.
lovely way to put it. So that was absolutely amazing.
Thank
So
you.
on a follow-up to that, so for a woman on a career break, like you mentioned, they tend to go into a shell and they're kind of embarrassed about the break, right? But it's
Yeah,
a part of their journey. So how would
absolutely.
you recommend people to talk about their career break or their career transitions? How do you encourage people to include that as a part of their personal branding or how to talk about it?
Yeah. So because most of the women who were, who've taken a career break, probably they have their LinkedIn profile or they do not have their LinkedIn profile. It could be either of these scenarios. If they have their LinkedIn profile, probably it just has the experience, the skills, and maybe a few recommendations. So according to me, they have to start talking about it openly. They have to start sharing their story that this is the time when I stopped working in a 9 to 6 job or a 9 to 7 job, and in this industry I have an experience of these many years, and now I'm coming back into, a professional career option. I'm building it for myself. And, share your story, that why did you take a career break, why it was important for your family, why it was a personal decision that was more important at that point in time, and why it was not a forceful decision but a personal choice, because you wanted to focus on building a family. And thereafter you did not lose that time period. You also use that time period to build your skill set, to build your learnings, to gather, online certifications or online courses, or to gather more insights from your industry, or to co-collaborate with your old colleagues, network with your old colleagues, to do something for people on a voluntary basis, to join some NGO missions. You did not use that period just for a 9 to 5 job, but you use that period for building your family, and simultaneously you use that period for part-time skill building, or a part-time, voluntary activity that you wanted to contribute to. So you have to put all that in the form of an experience on LinkedIn, and share your storytelling, on LinkedIn, and thereafter start talking about your experience. First, you connect the dots from where you left and now where you are beginning. Then, that gap gets filled up, and then you to start talking about what all you did in that period. So
That's
this is
very
how, yeah,
helpful.
this is how it can be.
And yeah, it's very important for people to share their story. And
Yeah.
yeah, your answer was very helpful because a lot of people feel when they're on a break, they have nothing to share. But like you said, it's building family, it's building part-time skills, and there's
Yeah.
so much which can go in that.
Because, women forget that building families calls for a lot of qualities. Everyone outside the family, appreciates that, but women themselves forget that,
Yeah.
building a family calls for a lot of capabilities, a lot of qualities, a lot of soft skills, be it patience, be it perseverance, be it multitasking, be it leadership, be it decision making, be it mentorship for your child itself, from the, very toddler years to when he was a teenage, or when you're joining back into careers. All those years were very meaningful, because you have contributed as a leader, as a decision maker, as a multitasker, as a family builder, as a team worker. So these are the qualities that women forget. But people who are outsiders, who are watching a family grow, who are even males for that matter, who are watching the family grow, who they appreciate, they may not openly talk about it, but inside their hearts they are noticing, they are appreciating a woman giving so much to her family,
That's
even
true. There's,
relatives, even
yeah.
friends, even family, extended family, everyone notices.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And these are transferable skills which you can't learn from a textbook. So,
Exactly.
yeah.
These are life skills. These
Yeah.
these are, जैसे हम बोलते हैं ना, on the job learning. They say
Hmm.
this is on the job learning within a household, within a family setup. So we can't ignore this. This is so big. This is
Yeah.
so big a contribution. So women have to leave that guilt somewhere, that she was not working for that time period. That guilt has to go away. She has to rather use that time more meaningfully, and she must have, but वो अभी उसे collate करना शुरू करना चाहिए. She should collate it. She should consolidate that time period, that what was the time period used for, and then she should talk about her story. Then she should bring out those experiences, even some of the experiences where she learned from her husband, she learned from her parents-in-law, from her parents, from her child, for that matter, from her children. Your children teach us a lot
Yeah.
during that period. So we have to bring out those experiences to people, and people really love that, because inside every experience, inside every story, there is some skill hidden with which you tackle that situation.
Yeah.
So we have to talk about it, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. That was a wonderful point you brought out. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, coming from there, like you mentioned earlier also, some people may have a LinkedIn, some people may not.
Yeah.
So, for people, like especially women who are returning, to start posting, to start building their brand, or to even start sharing their story, there are two things which come into play, right? One is breaking out of their own shell and getting that confidence to push something out there. The
Right.
second is for someone who doesn't have any prior experience in marketing, who doesn't know how, all these Canva, all these social media tools, like somebody starting from scratch, right?
Okay.
How would you recommend they start putting their story out there?
Yes, this question is absolutely relevant, because from where she left and from where she is, a lot of skill gap has also come in.
Mm.
So according to me, she should start with small steps, baby steps, so that it doesn't get overwhelming for her also. She has to first of all decide that, if she is wanting to come back to a career option, or she wants to start a business for that matter, an entrepreneurship venture, whichever her decision is, she needs to first, pen down a few things, that if it is a job, then what will be important? If it is a business, then what will be important? So if it is a job, even then personal branding would be important. If it is a business, even then personal branding would be important. She needs to identify the industry, she needs to identify the niche, she needs to identify which platform she needs to go and portray herself more. She needs to position herself better. For example, if it is a coach, if it is a, teacher, if it is a educationist, maybe YouTube becomes more important. But if it is a, professional, corporate professional, or an employability she's looking at, then maybe LinkedIn becomes important, because you become more findable, you become more discoverable by the employers, by the recruiters, by the top decision makers who are running the organizations. So she has to pen down these baby steps, that what will be more important. If it is building a resume more important, then she should take the help of some chat gpt tool, some chat gpt, or maybe Perplexity or Gemini, or Copilot. She has to identify a tool for herself and start creating a resume. Then she has to upload that resume on various, job portals. That could be a first step. Second step could be starting activity on LinkedIn. Please remember that people do not notice your experience as much, they notice your consistency on LinkedIn. So you have to start posting. Do not think कि अभी तो एक ही post है, अभी तो दो ही post है. Do not think it that way. And before posting also, the first and foremost step should be, on LinkedIn you should decide that what should be a profile picture, what should be a cover banner. A cover banner needs to have a punchline which defines you as a professional. As a professional, it should define you. Then you should have your headline, you should have your skills. So basically complete all these sections of LinkedIn. Once you optimize your LinkedIn profile and then you start posting regularly, your profile will look more complete. Your profile will look more, professional. People will understand that you are just beginning, but your profile seems complete. So, in that run itself, they find you more professional. If your profile is incomplete, say for example, you have not put a headline, you've not put your experience in a chronological order, you have not added a story that you took a break, why after so many years you start appearing again. So you have not given that chord, that joining chord. You have not put a professional cover picture, you have not put a professional profile picture. So all these things, speak about your professional conduct. So before even posting, this becomes important. Take the help of ChatGPT, take the help of Gemini to draft posts for you. But initial ideas, initial acumen should be yours. Your strategic intelligence is important here. Your ideas are important. Your core thoughts are important. Only then ChatGPT can brainstorm with you. You start a conversational thread with ChatGPT so that it keeps giving you better and better results. Even if you have to go for an interview, you use ChatGPT for interview preparation, for refinement of your resume. So all this, basically, all these steps are important.
That's true. You do need to do a lot of prep work. It's not just
Yeah,
starting off and like saying,
absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely. But where will it come from?
yeah.
First, from your willingness. First, from your own willingness, that yes, I have to do this. And condition yourself. This is expected to take some bit of time. This is expected to take, some bit of time for me. I may not get immediate results, but I have to not lose. My mindset has to be focused. I have to think positively. I have to believe in myself. That self belief and positive approach can do wonders here. you know this is
That's
what.
very true. Yeah,
Yeah,
especially since this takes time and it won't happen instantly. You need to
absolutely.
constantly have the self-belief, like I'm
Constantly you
on the
have to
right
keep
path.
telling
Yeah.
yourself,
Yeah.
rather than anybody else talking to you and telling you. Please believe in yourself. Whatever you have built over the years, it is because you have been capable about it. So believe in yourself, upskill yourself, make yourself more relevant, and then present it to the world. But
Yeah.
it will take some time. Believe in you, but it will take some time. So condition yourself.
Yeah.
Always condition yourself so that you don't feel disappointed end of the day.
Mm.
That is
That
very
was very,
important.
yeah, that was very well said. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. And on that, on the same line, what AI tools would you recommend people to learn? Like as of now, what would you recommend people to use?
So AI tools, since she is just beginning again,
Mm.
I would say she should not overwhelm herself. To start with, she should plan a content calendar, with the help of ChatGPT or with the help of, maybe Perplexity or Gemini. She should start working on a content plan, on a content calendar. Normally on LinkedIn, 3 to 4 types of content pillars become important. First of all, the industry that you want to start speaking on based on your experience. So, you need to talk about the trends and insights. You need to talk about the industry knowledge. You need to talk about the expertise you hold. You need to talk about the courses or skill set you plan to add on. You need to talk about the people sometimes content like this also, that who in your network also matters. Then how many people have recommended you in the past, how many testimonials you have from the industry. Please believe me, you may have lost 6 years, but those 6 years, your experience was still with you. Your skill set was still with you. Your knowledge, your learnings were still with you. So all that now has to come into forefront while you are building your personal brand. So you talk about your, maybe some of the opinion sharing, some of the thought leadership in your industry, that why do you believe in this particular practice, why do you believe that this particular methodology works, why do you believe that this kind of process helps in building up, why do you believe that team building is important, why do you believe that constantly upgrading and upskilling is important. So you need to talk based on your industry. Then second type of content that matters is that your personal stories, how managing work became a priority in some years and why managing a family became a priority in the next set of years. Why it was important to do time management in both spheres. How time management as a soft skill helped. How leadership as a soft skill helped. How decision making as a soft skill or as a personal trait helped. What are the core things that are important for decision making. So you have to keep building on. You have to keep building on based on your industry, but you have to remain consistent. Because algorithm is like this, that if you are consistent, you are findable, you are discoverable. So that I want to repeat one more time.
Yes, that's a very good point about the algorithm, especially. And I don't
Yeah,
think a lot of people think about that aspect, right? You just
exactly.
hear like be consistent, but you don't really know why. So, yeah, that was a very good point you brought up.
Yeah.
And similar to what you had mentioned earlier, you had mentioned like for coaches also, YouTube would be a good idea. So, what kind of platform, or do you recommend any other platforms based on, different needs? Do you have any thoughts or inputs on that?
So, very important question, because you are coming back from a break. Every woman who's coming back from a break, it will be very overwhelming if you start building on all the platforms at
Mm.
one go. So, always make a priority list, that based on your industry, based on your niche, which platform will give you better results. If you are building as a small business owner, maybe, Facebook will work better. Facebook business page and joining a targeted Facebook communities will help you better, because there you can do Facebook lives to sell yourself, to sell your products, to make a community for yourself, to join different communities, promotion and cross promotion of your products. If you are planning to become a coach or a consultant, then maybe LinkedIn plays a significant role. And first building on LinkedIn, and then if you are good at storytelling, if you're good at making reels, or if you can get support from somebody who is doing helping you with the videos, you can probably explore Instagram. Instagram is a tougher algorithm, so I would recommend start with LinkedIn first if you are a service provider, then go to Instagram. But if you are a product person, if you are starting into business, then Facebook becomes very important. Then your website, maybe a static website to start with, which showcases your products, and your GMB, Google My Business, becomes very important. Okay. And YouTube becomes important if you are, if you are persistent, that you will go forward with long form content in a very good and a beautiful manner, and you have support system to give that dedication to YouTube, because long form content will grow at a slow pace, at a very meaningful pace, but it will grow. But what is important is your perseverance and persistence to build those long form videos, which does better as far as YouTube algorithm is concerned. At the same time, I've seen many people start with Instagram, start creating reels and carousels, and they put the same reels on YouTube. So you don't have to do that extra effort. Your reels are getting positioned on YouTube in the form of shorts, and reels are also supporting the Instagram algorithm. So based on whether you want to become a product business person, or you want to become a service provider, like a consultant, like a coach, like a fitness coach, like a wellness coach, like a chartered accountant, like a lawyer who wants to sell his services more, consultancy more, like a management consultant, like a wealth management consultant, like a financial consultant. It could be any stream, any industry. So there, your discoverability on LinkedIn becomes more important first. Then you can probably build Instagram, because Instagram takes a toll on you, because the algorithm is tougher there. Yeah.
Thank you so much. That was a very insightful answer because a lot of
But
people I
yeah,
know,
Meghna,
yeah.
I would like to add, sorry to cut you short here.
Hmm.
I would like to add that, omni-channel marketing is very important. Everyone will tell you this, that if you want to become discoverable on AI overview of Google, or, answer engines like Perplexity, Gemini, ChatGPT, or any AI engine for that matter, you have to create a omni-channel presence. Everyone will tell you so. But since you are coming back after a long time, go slow. My strong recommendation: build a presence on single platform first, then, grow up further. Always see that you are consolidating on one platform first, and then progress with the second one. This is
Yeah.
very, very crucial.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense because
Yeah.
especially when you're just figuring out how to navigate this personal branding and suddenly, there's this platform, this kind of content for this, it just becomes too much. So that was lovely the
Absolutely.
way you put it. Yeah.
Because the moment people start feeling social media or digital media or presence on digital media overwhelming,
Mm.
they kind of lose it out.
Yeah.
They kind of feel burnt out, and when you feel burnt out, now there is more chance that you will leave that battle. So
Yeah.
do not leave that battle. You have to stay consistent, and the results do not come that soon. Please be prepared with that. Even on LinkedIn, you don't become popular all at once. You have to keep posting content very, very regularly, at a regular frequency. You have to keep engaging with other people's content. You have to start joining communities on LinkedIn. It is that that makes you consistent, and start bringing up your algorithm or your impressions of your content. It makes your organic connections better, it makes your visibility better. But if you will feel burnt out by being present on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, everywhere, then in the initial phase, I'm saying, later on you have to, but in the initial phase, in the first year itself, if you will plan every platform, then that will make you feel burnt out for sure.
Yeah.
Because you will not have team to support you in the first year, you will not have team to support you in second year. Maybe you build a team from third year onwards, but in the first year you are managing the show. So please remember that you have to feel energetic, you have to feel positive about the whole affair.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that was very nicely put. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I also just love the point you brought out about engaging with people and also joining communities because there is also an assumption that if you want to post on LinkedIn, you just need to post, post, post. But the engaging with people also and starting
Oh, it's very
conversations.
important.
Very,
People
yeah.
forget this, that if you will not engage, please remember that if you will not engage, you will not build conversations. And if you will not build conversations, you will not become memorable on LinkedIn. Your profile will not be remembered. So join as many communities as possible based on your niche, and then start discussing. If somebody has some problem and he has put up that problem, you start contributing there. Give your viewpoint. That establishes you as an industry person, that establishes you as an authority, because you're trying to help out without any commercial reasons. So that establishes you as a genuine professional there. So take out time for engagement for sure. That is important.
That's a very good tip.
Yeah.
And similarly, so how do you sort of maintain your authenticity while growing, your brand presence? So one way, like you mentioned, was, you just answer these questions based on your experience and there's no commercial view, right?
Yeah.
So do you have any other ideas or recommendations on how to maintain your authenticity?
Yeah. So for authenticity, it is extremely important to do case studies, to do work in progress, to do behind the scenes. How will your authenticity get developed if you are using AI all the time? See,
Yeah.
use AI, but use AI meaningfully. Use AI to enhance, not to replace you. Please remember this. AI should become only a tool for you, but it can never replace human intellect. It can never replace human connection. It can never replace human intelligence, that emotional intelligence which is God gifted to all of us. We cannot use AI to replace that. So always build your authenticity with these emotional storytelling posts. Number one, always do behind the scenes posts. That is, how many hours go into a particular task, or how much support goes into a particular task, or an assignment. Or if you were able to complete a project in 48 hours or 56 hours or 72 hours or maybe 1 month, then what went behind that completion, that deadline achievement? What went behind endless calls, endless conversations, research? All that you need to show. You need to show it in the form of words, or you need to show it as a video, or you need to show it as a pictures, snippets. Because these days, even if an employer is finding you, if you're looking for a job and your employer is finding you, the first thing they will look at you is they put your name on Google, or they will scan you on LinkedIn. Okay. If an employer is also looking for you, the first thing, even before screening your resume today, they will not read through the entire 3 or 4 pager or a 2 pager resume, but they will find it easier to check you on Google or on LinkedIn. If you are a professional. So because that becomes easier, that brings it, they just can scroll everything about you. Where are you appearing, in what search results you are appearing, what are the testimonials that endorse your profile. So you have to keep putting recommendations, keep asking for recommendations as you build yourself. Keep asking for testimonials, keep asking for recommendations, keep asking for testimonies. If you're in the product business, keep asking for reviews, Google reviews, experiences with products, user generated content, UGC videos in product business becomes very important. So it depends which niche you are. This is a whole together a different session, how to build your business. So we will probably do some workshop around this in the long term.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a great answer, and I really
Yeah.
liked when you mentioned that you should use AI to enhance,
Yeah.
because I think a lot of people are also worried that, how am I building my
Make
brand if
AI
AI,
dependent
yeah,
on you.
yeah,
You have to make AI dependent on your skill set, not that you should be dependent on AI. When you challenge AI, it gives you better responses. I've seen you have to tell AI, you always, while using AI also, now always use contextual prompts. You know, give AI an identity, that dear chat GPT, consider that you are this, you are a doctor. Now you have come across these symptoms, then you have to give me an idea on the diagnosis, what it could be, so that I can take help from a clinician. If I need to go to a doctor, I need to go to a clinician, or maybe some kind of home remedies can help me resolve this today. So that because I'm unable to see the doctor today. So, make ChatGPT feel that you are this, you are this, you are a person who has these qualifications. Then, brainstorm with ChatGPT. But never ever cross check responses always. Validate through human expertise. Always validate through human intellect. Always cross validate, because you cannot always assume that ChatGPT is going to be correct all the time. And at times you must have seen even ChatGPT has started saying, I may be wrong in this, I may be wrong in that. So that is because humans can keep challenging the intellect of AI. That is how it's learning more.
That's a very good way. Love that, this insight on how we can use ChatGPT as well. Like, it's not just putting in questions, like, there are
Yeah.
different ways to
You
use
have
it
to
as well.
challenge. You have to give an identity. You have to give a context to ChatGPT that this is the scenario. This is the, you are this. This is the scenario. This is the people I'm going to address this to. This is the thing, you need to tell me. You have to at least refer to 100 sources for this. So that becomes a benchmark for even ChatGPT to give you the answer, to
Yeah.
give you the result. While building a resume, you need to tell him, you need to tell ChatGPT that consider yourself a very highly professional individual who has these qualifications while creating the resume also.
Yeah.
Not that ki I am this, create a resume. That's a very straight prompt. You have
Yeah.
to give a contextual prompt to challenge ChatGPT skills,
Yeah. Thank you
because
for
these
that.
are
That was,
language
yeah.
models.
Mm.
All human intelligence has no borders. These language models have borders, still, because
Yeah.
whatever learning has gone into them, it has gone into them.
Yeah.
So that is how they are. Yeah.
So now, supposing you have someone who's already been working, they have some amount of personal branding, like on their LinkedIn or on another platform. And do you think the approach to personal branding should differ based on, whether someone is currently working and stable and happy in their job versus someone who is thinking of transitioning, thinking of changing their job? Do you think there should be any difference over there?
No, I don't think so. See, personal brand, the content pillars can change,
Mm.
obviously, because who your audience is, who your, what is your context. Based on that, your content pillars should change for sure while you're making a personal brand. But do not think that if you are in a job, a personal brand is not important for you, you know, because while you are in a job, you don't need immediate opportunities for yourself, but maybe down the line you will need opportunities for yourself if you transition into another role, or if you transition into another organization, or maybe you start transitioning into entrepreneurship. Your personal brand, your expertise showcase will make a big difference. So do not think it is not a priority for you. Personal brand in today's time is the biggest priority, especially when AI has entered into our lives. Because tomorrow, when AI enters every field, who will you trust? You have to have a name. You have to have a human name behind even AI. Because otherwise, how will you trust? So behind the trustworthiness, behind credibility, building, behind, everything of this sort, there is a personal brand today. So even if you are in a job, even if you are in business, even if you are in any sphere of your life, if you plan to professionally engage yourself, personal brand is important. I'm not talking about people who don't want to work at all. I'm talking about people who want to get involved in either a job or a business or an entrepreneurship venture or a mentor or a consultancy firm, whichever case it may be. A
Yeah.
personal brand is definitely important, because that tells about your journey as an individual, not about your job. It tells about your journey, about your expertise, about your authenticity, about your recommendations, about how people perceive you as an individual. That is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a very, that makes a lot of sense. It gives
Yeah.
more of a holistic input of your entire journey, not just what job you're doing at the moment, right? Yeah.
The people who are in job, in fact, if they build a personal brand for themselves, they can indirectly help their employers. They can indirectly help their companies.
Yeah.
Okay, so and so is working with this company. I mean, this makes the image of the company go higher up. That is why, these days when hospitals hire doctors, they say कि, okay, we want to bring these doctors on board
Mm.
because those doctors have a personal brand for themselves. These many clinical cases handled, these many surgeries done, these many successful cases, these many white papers written, because they have
Yeah.
a personal brand. In the field of medical fraternity, this always existed, but now it is making a strong foot in every industry.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's becoming increasingly important for educationists, for doctors. It already existed through some way or the other way, but now it is becoming increasingly important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just have one last question. So for our audience, do you have just one step or action you would recommend to them to just start building their personal brand? Like just your opinion, one step.
So yeah, because you are coming after a career break, so my first and foremost, first day step is identify your niche, identify the industry where you want to participate. The next step is choose a professional profile picture. Make a cover banner, professional cover banner on LinkedIn. Okay. Thereafter, work on the about section. Define yourself in 2,500 characters, which is the, limit for a personal branding profile on LinkedIn. So how will you best describe yourself? Brainstorm with ChatGPT, brainstorm with language models, create an about for yourself. Give keywords to ChatGPT. Thereafter, define a headline for your profile. How will people look at you as a professional? So define a headline. Work on these initial things on, day 1 and day 2. Then day 3, work on the content calendar, content mapping. First of all, which content pillars are important? Identify those 4 or 5 content pillars around which your profile should go. Then thereafter, create a content calendar. Then decide a deadline. Very important, because you are answerable to your own self. Okay, decide a deadline. Do not keep things in hanging. Okay, I'll do it in August, I'll do it in September. No, decide a deadline today. This work I'll finish by this date. This work I'll finish by this date. That planning schedule is very, very important, because end of the day, ask yourself, how productive was your day? You have to answer to yourself, no one else on this earth. You have to answer to your own self. You should become a benchmark for yourself. Tomorrow, you should be better than what you were today. That is how you will progress, especially when you are coming after a break. It is very important, because we have to become disciplined in our routine.
I love that perspective of you have to become the benchmark for yourself because that was such
Absolutely.
a lovely way to put
Do
it.
not compare. There is no end to comparison. Do not compare, but become better than yourself. If you are becoming better than yourself every day, believe me, you are going in the positive direction. Please remember this.
Yeah.
I'm telling you why again and again, because the women who will be coming back after a career break, sometimes they get disheartened कि result नहीं आ रहा, result नहीं आ रहा, result इतनी जल्दी नहीं आएगा. Result will take time. Please keep reminding yourself that your efforts have to be consistent. People will become noticeable. People will add up organic connections. That organic connections, that reachability is in itself a reward. After 2 months, when you see yourself again, after 10 months, you'll see yourself again, you'll see you've grown. So keep growing. That is
Yeah.
the whole idea.
That was really lovely. So, thank you so much for such an insightful session. Like, these are things which no one really would even think of. You brought such amazing points, and especially for our community with people just coming from a break, just figuring things out. Your inputs were so, so amazing. Thank you so much for being a part of this session.
Thank you so much, Meghna. It was lovely interacting with you. And thank you to her second innings. As an organization, I wish you all the best.